In 1918, the world was at war, and the United States of America had recently joined the fight. Wanting to help, a courageous 15-year-old from Illinois lied about his age and was sent to Connecticut to train as a Red Cross ambulance driver. During training, he would run into another boy with the American Red Cross Ambulance Corps, who had coincidentally also forged his birth certificate to serve his country. The young men's brief time together would not gain significance until long into their respective careers. The 15-year-old boy was named Raymond Kroc, and he would go on to build the nation's most successful fast food franchise. The boy he met was named Walter Elias Disney. This would be the first point of contact between McDonald's and Disney, but it certainly wouldn't be the last. After the war ended, Ray's entrepreneurial spirit helped him survive the Great Depression. He would work a number of odd jobs, including real estate agent, musical director, and paper cup salesman. Though he didn't stick with the Lily Tulip Cup Company for long, it seemed that the role of salesman suited him best. It was during his employment at Prince Castle as a multi-mixer salesman that two buyers in particular caught his attention. Richard and Maurice McDonald operated a small yet efficient fast food restaurant in San Bernardino, California in 1948. The small food joint, named McDonald's, was serving their hamburgers at almost half the cost of normal restaurants. Pre-cooked, wrapped, and kept warm under heat lamps, the food at McDonald's could be prepared and served in record time. When Ray came to investigate why the McDonald's brothers needed 8 milkshake mixers, he was stunned to see the innovation taking place at the family-run business. Ray saw potential in the burger joint. He wanted to take the concept of this fast food hamburger stand from its humble roots in San Bernardino and expand it across the country. With its hot and ready model and no need for the traditional waitstaff, McDonald's could revolutionize the way Americans eat. The first step towards franchising the eatery meant that Ray was on to a serious business venture. Around the same time that Ray and the McDonald's brothers were preparing to open their first franchised location in Des Plaines, Illinois, Walt Disney was preparing for a grand opening of his own. Disneyland theme park in Anaheim, California was nearing completion. Ray, remembering the ambulance driver that he had met in Connecticut nearly 40 years prior, decided to go out on a limb and contact Walt. According to the Disney archives, Ray sent Walt a letter in 1954 inquiring about a possible partnership. Quote, "Dear Walt, I feel somewhat presumptuous addressing you in this way, yet I feel sure you would not want me to address you any other way. My name is Ray A. Kroc. I have very recently taken over the national franchise of the McDonald's system. I would like to inquire if there may be an opportunity for a McDonald's in your Disneyland development." To Ray, the idea made sense. They were two entrepreneurs on the cusp of introducing their new concepts to the nation. Unfortunately, Ray's request did not get past the vice president of Disneyland Concessions, as Walt was laser-focused on completing all of the creative aspects of his park before opening. Ray would go on to open a McDonald's location in Des Plaines in April of 1955, and Walt would preside over Disneyland's grand opening just a few months later. Both companies would see massive success, and Ray showed no hesitancy in doing what he needed to do to achieve it. On his quest to open more franchises nationwide, he soon realized that the profit made on food alone would not be enough to float the company. Ray deduced that he could be making more money on his franchised McDonald's locations by owning or leasing the land they were built on. Soon, he was making a profit on the land as well as on the burgers. With skyrocketing financial success, it would take less than a decade for Ray to strong-arm the McDonald's brothers into giving up the rights to the company, a ruthless move that was the last step in making McDonald's a household name.
Why? Isn't that McDonald's hamburger delicious?
Mom told me never to talk to strangers.
Well, your mother's right as always, but I'm Ronald McDonald. Give me a McDonald's shake.
Well, you sound like Ronald.
Here, I'll prove it. I'll give you 3 more hamburgers. I know, you're not supposed to accept gifts from strangers either.
But you're no stranger. You really are Ronald McDonald.
The prosperity of the franchise nationwide would lead to public trading on the stock market in 1965. By the late 1980s, McDonald's was an international sensation, with over 10,000 locations. Although Ray would not live to see the continued growth and success, as he would pass in 1984, the concept of a simple hamburger had been revolutionized. McDonald's was now a corporate giant, and it was once again poised to make negotiations with the Walt Disney Company. In the late 80s, Disneyland in Anaheim was gearing up for its latest and greatest thrill ride. Splash Mountain was billed to be a log flume attraction that told the story of the wily Brer Rabbit and his adventures through the Briar Patch as seen in the animated segments of Disney's 1946 film, Song of the South. Disney was looking for a way to advertise the opening of the new attraction. and McDonald's would step up to the plate. A joint promotion deal between Disney and McDonald's was reached, with McDonald's putting down millions in advertising for the ride. One of McDonald's biggest promotions was its Splash for Cash game. Customers could purchase a beverage at McDonald's and peel away a game sticker to reveal a number of prizes, including a $25,000 grand cash prize and other small prizes such as discounts on food and passes to Disneyland. At one point, McDonald's was even poised to sponsor the ride, and one piece of concept art shows what looks to be the ride's entrance prominently displaying McDonald's. The commercials and advertising played such an enormous part in hyping up Splash Mountain that it even attracted international visitors. However, there was one slight problem. Massive delays in development and construction kept the ride from opening on schedule. Imagineers and construction workers weren't satisfied with the ride. While the designers were fixing the issues, frustrated parkgoers were forced to watch helplessly from the sidelines. The advanced promotions run by McDonald's had undoubtedly sent more than a handful of visitors to the park too soon with empty promises. When Splash Mountain finally opened in July of 1989, it was 6 months behind schedule. McDonald's was disappointed in the delayed opening, and after a Little Mermaid promotional tie-in in late 1989 and a Rescuers Down Under tie-in in late 1990, the partnership seemed to dissipate, with no long-term deal being reached. This is reportedly due to conflicts that arose during the elaborate marketing campaign for 1990's Dick Tracy, which Disney perceived as a huge disappointment, as they were expecting a success as big as 1989's Batman. The exact issue with McDonald's promotional game tie-in, the $40 million Dick Tracy Crime Stoppers game, was unclear, but whatever the issue, Disney turned to McDonald's competitors for other tie-ins. This was unfortunate for McDonald's, as this was a turning point in both industries in two different major ways. In the entertainment industry, Disney was about to release a slate of animated films that would become critical and financial hits. And in the fast food industry, all of the major players were setting their sights on the younger demographic through play places and toys. The practice had been going on for years, but in the late 80s and early 90s, the advertising and tie-ins became much more persistent. Disney would partner with Pizza Hut in 1991 for Beauty and the Beast before moving its promotions to Burger King for the next 5 years, allowing the chain to promote some of the most financially successful films ever created by the studio. In 1996, McDonald's would partner with Disney for another promotional game, this time introducing the wildly popular Disney Video Masterpiece Collection Trivia Challenge. Guests would purchase food and beverages, peel off a game sticker, and then have to scratch off the correct answer to questions about Disney movies in the Masterpiece Collection. The game boasted over 300 million prizes, including vacations to Disney. The game, that could have only existed in the pre-Google world, infuriated librarians of all people, as frustrated players would call their local information center with Disney trivia questions. It was around this time that McDonald's and Disney would finally reach a long-term exclusive agreement. For at least a decade, Disney toys could be found in McDonald's, and McDonald's could be found in Disney. The deal was made with the help of newly appointed and soon-to-be-fired Disney president Michael Ovitz, who had confidence in marrying brands from different industries. This elaborate cross-promotion occurred at the same time that Lucasfilm was partnering with PepsiCo, and media analysts and fans worried that such promotions could potentially impact the plots to the studio's films, such as Star Wars films replacing Jabba the Hutt with Pizza the Hutt. The new partnership between McDonald's and Disney would begin on January 1st, 1997, and the fast food chain would become Disney's go-to promotional sponsor. McDonald's would now pay Disney $100 million in royalties for the promotional use of the company's characters, television shows, movies, and theme parks. Disney CEO Michael Eisner said of the partnership, quote, "This is the most ambitious promotional effort ever developed between two of the world's best-known family-friendly brands. The agreement we announced today is a true McDisney production." At the time of the agreement, it ensured that all 18,700 McDonald's locations would have exclusive rights to promote any and all things Disney. Movies released by Disney from 1996 through 2007, such as Hercules, Mulan, A Bug's Life, Doug's First Movie, Tarzan, Toy Story 2, Dinosaur, The Emperor's New Groove, Atlantis: The Lost Empire, Monsters Inc., Lilo and Stitch, Treasure Planet, Finding Nemo, Brother Bear, The Incredibles, and Cars, just to name a few, were included in McDonald's Happy Meal promotions. These Happy Meal toys soon turned into hot-ticket collectible items for children and adults. McDonald's even went as far as selling a special edition Szechuan sauce for the release of Mulan. It's estimated that McDonald's pulled in close to $1 billion from all of their promotions during the 10-year span. Not only was Disney thriving inside of McDonald's locations, the same was true in reverse. Even though the sponsorship for Splash Mountain fell through in the late 1980s, McDonald's was once again ready to take its place inside the Disney theme parks. This time, however, it would be a full-on burger invasion.
First came the Magic Kingdom, then Epcot, then Disney MGM Studios, And now, introducing the most adventurous Walt Disney World theme park ever.
In April of 1998, the fourth theme park on Walt Disney World property opened to the public. Animal Kingdom boasts over 500 acres of land filled with different animal species, making it a zoological theme park experience. McDonald's would promote the new park with a series of Happy Meal toys that even featured a dragon for the then soon-to-be, but actually never built land, Beastly Kingdom. At the time of opening, the differently themed areas of the park included the Oasis, Safari Village, Camp Mini Mickey, Africa, Asia, and Dinoland USA. The entire section of Dinoland USA would be sponsored by none other than McDonald's. Guests walking into Dinoland today are met with Dinorama, what appears to be a quickly built land of temporary attractions. But believe it or not, it was even worse on opening day. The spinning carnival ride Triceratops Spin and the spinning coaster Primeval Whirl, along with the rest of Dinorama, were not present. Instead, the land that bared the McDonald's name and logo featured the Boneyard Playground, the Cretaceous Trail, the Journey into the Jungle Book Show and Theater of the Wild, the Fossil Prep Lab, and the 1998 Dinosaur Jubilee, a walkthrough attraction so temporary that it was named the 1998 Dinosaur Jubilee. That was until 1999, when the attraction was still there, and it was renamed to, yes, the 1999 Dinosaur Jubilee. In 2000, it was renamed to simply the Dinosaur Jubilee, before being removed for the Dinorama Carnival that is there today. At the back of Dinoland USA, sponsored by McDonald's, sat the land's e-ticket attraction, a thrilling race through time named Countdown to Extinction, sponsored by McDonald's, which is objectively the best name of any attraction ever created. So much so that I'm going to repeat it: Countdown to Extinction, sponsored by McDonald's. Throughout all of Dinoland, it was impossible to escape the burger chain's branding. As guests queuing for Countdown to Extinction waited, they would be consistently reminded via audio that their time travel trip was sponsored by McDonald's. The Children's Boneyard play area proudly displayed a sign informing visitors that the dig site was indeed sponsored thanks in part to the Golden Arches. Even Dinoland's restaurant, Restaurantosaurus, featured McDonald's food items such as their French fries, burgers, and McNuggets. McDonald's French fry stands were a common commodity not only throughout the Dinoland section of Animal Kingdom, but also in other theme parks on property. Magic Kingdom's Frontierland would see the addition of Frontierland fries, and the Village Fry Shop was added to Fantasyland. At MGM Studios, guests could visit Fairfax Fries, and near the Canada Pavilion in Epcot, guests could order fries, McNuggets, and McFlurries at the refreshment port. Over in Disneyland and eventually California Adventure in Anaheim, Westward Ho, the Harbor Galley, and Burger Invasion all sold McDonald's menu items throughout the 10-year partnership. McDonald's restaurants even had 2 full-service locations, one at downtown Disney in Orlando and one near Disney's Blizzard Beach. Disney Village in Paris was given a McDonald's restaurant right next to their Rainforest Cafe. McDonald's clearly had a stamp over Disney property for a good portion of a decade. While the 10-year partnership had no doubt been prosperous for both companies, the times and culture had dramatically changed leading up to the end of the contract in 2006. Specifically, America's attitudes toward the fast food industry. Books and documentaries like Fast Food Nation and Super Size Me painted a portrait of the obesity crisis in America. The federal government was working on programs to eliminate sugary soft drinks from schools around the nation. There was a health-conscious crisis on the rise, and McDonald's was not sitting favorably in the eye of the public. When the time rolled around to renew the partnership in 2006, both Disney and McDonald's mutually declined. There were rumors that Disney was fearful of the stigma that came with being associated with unhealthy food, and therefore decided to distance themselves from the fast food brand. Even Steve Jobs, the largest shareholder in the Disney company after Disney's Pixar acquisition, voiced his concerns over the implications of doing significant promotions with fast food chains. Of course, this specific reason was denied by Disney, and both companies released their own official statements ending the contract on good terms. Disney and McDonald's still engaged in occasional promotional partnerships following the split, and have recently agreed to a new, shorter, and non-exclusive contract that began in the summer of 2018. So what happened to McDonald's presence in the Disney parks? It didn't take long for the Golden Arches to begin fading from guest memories. Fairfax Fries became Toluca Legs, and the Golden Oak Outpost took over the space that used to belong to Frontierland Fries. No longer was Countdown to Extinction, now named Dinosaur, made possible by McDonald's, nor was Restaurantosaurus offering McNuggets. It seemed that the fast food giant's presence in the parks had left without much fanfare. While Ray Kroc and Walt Disney's short time together in the Red Cross didn't result in any synergy between their business empires, perhaps it was destiny that McDonald's and Disney would eventually be linked. Its decade-long partnership married the two brands in the minds of an entire generation, and the toy promotions and presence in the parks is an era that is almost long enough ago to be nostalgic. The extent of the new deals Disney has or will reach with McDonald's is not yet clear, but it is hard to imagine a partnership as elaborate as the one signed in '96. As Eisner said, it truly was a McDisney production.
still smells like McDonald's. You can smell the fries. I'm hungry.
You know, you really can.
You really can.
This isn't a joke. This isn't a bit. It smells just like McDonald's.
Oh, it's great.
What did you order?
Chicken nuggets and fries.
Okay, you got to do a taste test for us. Okay, that doesn't look exactly like it. It kind of looks...
They same paper cups.
Okay, those are kind of universal.
Same, the cup is still red, like McDonald's.
Yeah, those are everywhere, though.
These are French fries.
Do they taste like McDonald's?
They do.
How much like McDonald's?
Exactly.
Are you serious? Can I try one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. That's a blown theory.
Yeah.